Welcome to my 2025 reading journal setup flip through. This is my second year doing a reading journal. I just bought the Michaels brand once again. I used it last year. I liked it. It's affordable and it got me through it. It worked really well. When you open this up, first you're gonna see this like table thing that I just skipped, and I actually skipped the first half page, and on my full first page we have my rating system. So this year I did Sabrina Carpenter lyrics to showcase my rating system. 5 stars is I Might Let You Make Me Juno, 4 stars is That Me Espresso, 3 stars is Please 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 Don't Embarrass Me, 2 are Forks Are Effin' Everywhere, and 1 is Times Like These Wish I Had a Time Machine. Then we have my 25 and 2025 bookshelfie. I love a bookshelfie, so you're gonna see them often. This just has all of the 25 books I want to read this year so that I can color them in as I read them. We are doing a little bit of a star night astrology theme to go with some of my reads this year. We flip the page and we have my 5-star reads. Every time I read a 5-star, I will print a picture out and it'll go here. Then we have my Kindle Bingo TBR. This is a bingo board that is put on by Kitty, and I have every book that I put on my TBR, and I'm gonna write the star rating underneath when I have read them. And then this is my Kindle Unlimited tracker. Every time I read a book on KU, I'm just gonna put the name here so that I see how often I'm using KU this year. We flip the page and this is my priority series shelfie. I did this last year and I really enjoyed it. As I read all of my priority series, I'm going to color them in. We have the corresponding colors down here. This year I did write the number on the marker so that I would easily remember, because last year I remember having to like test swap to make sure I was using the right marker. So we have this blue color, which means I read it previous to 2025. We have a pink that's a DNF, a purple that's a 1-star, this like really light gray is 2-star, this like bluish gray is 3-star, this blue color is 4-star, and this purple color is 5-star. And as I read a book, I'll color it in with its star. I will also use this for all my other stuff. For example, when I read a book in my 2025, I will use this key as well. And then we have The World of Eva Chase. Eva Chase is an author that I fell in love with last year and I know I want to read more from. So I have her entire backlist written down here, and as I read, I'm just going to color in the little box for the series, and hopefully I've read them all. Well, I don't want to read them all this year, but like I've read a decent amount by the end of this year. I only have read 3 currently, so I have a lot of work cut out in front of me, but I actually really like the way this one looks and how like it is very busy, but I thought it was like really easy to use. And we're going for spreads that I'm actually going to use, and I knew last year that I loved coloring things in, so something like this is really simple. Again, we just have a little bit of an astrological feel here. The next page is my shelves at the start of 2025. So this is my entire physical TBR written out here. This one I have read and kept, read and unhauled, unhauled, and a DNF and unhaul. And I will color them in and see if I make progress. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of these read this year, so that's exciting. But again, this is only things that I have before the start of the year. Anything I get in the year doesn't belong on the shelf. Next up, we have my buzzword cover challenge and my buzzword reading challenge. I will just print out the cover of the book I read and put it in the spot when I've read it. Another shelfie. This is my special editions shelfie. I did do something different last year and I realized it didn't really work for me, and this year I really want to make sure I'm prioritizing reading the books I'm buying in subscription boxes. So each subscription box that I am currently subscribed to has a little shelf, and there's 2 extra for if I get more, and the books I already own are there that I haven't read. And as I get more books throughout the year, I will also give them a little spot and I will color them in as I read them using the same colors that I went over earlier with star ratings. This way I can really easily see what sub boxes that I am actually reading from and which ones I'm getting good ratings from, and I can save my money on ones that aren't working for me. Next up, we have the Not So Indie Archive, which is my book club that I run on Patreon with Mel from Melanor Reads, and we have our first 2 reads, January and February, and I will just put the star rating afterwards. We're doing one every single month this year, so I have 12 spots, and I'm excited to see what we read the entire year. It's always fun to have a little book club with each other. Then we have the Zodiac Academy spread. This one is fun. I really like it. This is one of my like main things I want to read this year. So I have little pictures that I collaged off Pinterest and some stickers, and then all of the 9 books. And as I read them, I'll put the little star rating. This is like the main series I want to read this year, so it got its own little spread at the start. Then we have the Zodiac Academy World, just like I did for Eva Chase. I wanted one for Zodiac Academy, and this one has the 4 series that I need to read. This one's a little more empty. I'm hoping to get more stickers to fill it in, or like just fill it in with things I like as I read them, but I do really like the way this looks as well. This year I'm doing something different for my monthly spreads. I realized that setting up a different theme every single month doesn't work for me, and I didn't need the stats that other people do. So I did all of my monthly spreads at first, and then afterwards I'm just gonna have all of my book spreads, my readathon spreads, things like that. So sorry if the camera changed, my cat knocked the camera. So we have my January book spread, which is just going to be the star rating and the book I read, and we do it for every single month. This one's pretty simple, but it'll look really pretty filled in. I'll probably do a different gel pen every single month. I just like being able to look at this list and see exactly what I read. So for every month. And then we also have bookshelves for every single month. And these are my TBRs for the month. So you can already see my January TBRs filled out. And I will color them in with DNF'd in month, read in another month, and DNF'd in another month. So I can just see how my TBRs went. And there's one for every single month. And then that is the literal end of my reading journal. Very quick this year. The next pages are all just going to be fun readathon spreads and things like that. I want to do readathon spreads. I want to do book spreads, like things like the Zodiac Academy spread. I would like to do that for more series, just like as I'm reading them. I already read some 5 stars of the year, so I want to make sure I do some spreads for them. I want to do more spreads like this one and the Eva Chase one, just because I love reading from an author's entire backlist. It's something I really enjoy doing. I'm getting into gaming this year, so I think I'm going to make a couple gaming spreads. I'm just really excited to use this for literally anything I want it to, and I think not having monthly setups is going to be really beneficial for me actually using it. I would love to know what your favorite spread is that I created or in the journal, or if there's a spread that you do in your journal that you really like. I think this subscription box one is going to be very, very helpful for me, so I'm excited about that one quite a bit. But my serious priority is always one of my favorites. It was my favorite last year. It's gonna be my favorite this year, I think. So that's it. That's my 2025 reading journal setup. Very quick this year, an easy little flip through. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me some kind of moon emoji. And if you'd like to see my reading flip through from last year, I'll leave that on the screen for you, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.